If you offer free food, kids will show up whether they're interested in robots or not. At least they'll show up, and maybe you can grab a few of them off the street by offering free pizza. It works, if you believe it or not. Call companies, Boeing, Microsoft. The first website has great links to hook you up with Boeing employees who want to mentor a team but haven't found a team. Same thing with Microsoft people who want to mentor or are interested in mentoring but haven't found a team or a school who is nearby them. So contact Boeing or Microsoft. First website has great links to hook you up with those kind of mentors. I have both. I got a Boeing mentor. He's great, Jim Troy. He's great with programming, he's great with mechanical design, and he scored us a huge Boeing grant this year just by having him be part of our team. We got an initial $6,000 grant from Boeing this year. So if you get a Boeing mentor, grab them, hang on to them, do not let them quit. They're great, they're brilliant people, and they get your team money for just being part of it. Same thing with Microsoft. If you get a Microsoft guy, they have matching funds. The team actually gets paid $17 for every hour your Microsoft mentor is helping you. That brought us in like $2,200 last year. Barton Place, he works at Microsoft. He actually worked with us less than he has in the past, and he still got over $2,000 just from those matching funds. He keeps track of his hours, he sends it in, and they pay us, not him, 17 bucks an hour for his time. It's a great program. So if you get people with those that work for those companies, they'll not only bring you experience, but they'll bring you money, which is good. Fundraising, anything, do anything, sell car wash tickets, sell cookie dough, whatever you can do to make money is great. ASB, if you ask your ASB coordinator, they have all sorts of fundraising ideas that they don't have time to implement because they can only do so much, but they have just ideas on top of ideas. They'll help you, give you an idea on how to implement it. So anything you can really do, like we've sold cookie dough, we do the whisk thing now, writing grants is huge. I'm actually having a conflicting problem with my grants right now. I wrote a great grant last year from our school's foundation that was going to be for $6,000 to cover our initial kit of parts, which is great, and it was really, you know, they jumped head in and they finally gave us a big chunk of money. They also funded us to go to the national event in Atlanta last year because we won the chairman's and qualified for that. And so they've been pouring money at us. I now have to go and tell them that my Boeing mentor got me a $6,000 grant to cover my $6,000 registration, but Boeing pays that directly to First. So now I have to go tell my school's foundation that, can I use that money for something else, or are you going to take it from me? Because they wanted it to go for the same reason. Yeah.
We can use your Boeing money to go to Portland if you want a second regional. So just don't let them take the money away.
No, I'm not going to let them take the money.
Don't let them take the money.
Yeah, because writing grants was time consuming, and then they want to interview you, and there's a selection process. And OSPI grant. Did I already ask you about the OSPI grant? Yeah.
Is that coordinated through First by chance?
No,
it is not. It's
Washington
separate,
State
straight from.
Superintendent. Yep.
All right.
And can I gloat?
Yes,
my team was the team who went down and lobbied the Education Appropriations Committee, working with Fred Jarrett and Anderson down there. They got us some FaceTime in front of the committee. We lobbied for First. We got $150,000 for grants appropriated, and I think that most teams got like $8,000. Veteran teams, I think my team got $1,600. So I mean that's something, and it's great. Hopefully, we actually saw Mr. Anderson and Garrett down there at the meeting we went to the other day, and they're going to get us some more foot-based time. Hopefully, we'll go down there again and get that grant sustained for years to come. It doubled, I think Kevin mentioned, it doubled the numbers of teams in Washington State from like 25 to almost 50. So get those, if we can get those grants stable and keep them making new teams or sustaining veteran teams, funding seems to be the most detrimental thing to teams, is they can't get enough money. Like I said, I think we spent $22,000 last year. And you think $22,000 for 25 kids? Sometimes that's hard to justify. So
A football uniform costs $500 though. That doesn't even include the mowing the grass, so don't feel bad. I'm sorry. I'm going to this. It's nothing. OSPI, just so you know, on your money, we did 30 teams. It was really 8,000. Most of you, the new ones got 7,500 to 4,000 to the veterans 1,600. It hasn't been dispersed. That's going to go straight to your school. We're in. Governor Gregoire froze every single dime in Olympia as of Wednesday. We're hoping she'll release them soon, but just so you know, those will go directly to your school. And part of that money can be used for teacher stipends. That's between you guys and your administration, but you are going to put some hours into here, and we would love to see you guys stipend. But no, it is coming. It's to be used as you see fit on t-shirts, stipends, product, anything on the robot, but we're just in a holding pattern right
Yeah.
now.
It'll come through.
It'll come through. It's just,
Hopefully before December 5th.
it might be a few weeks.
When our registrations are due. Let's see, build season.
Always.
What you need to do as a mentor for season is set a schedule. You need to decide when you're going to have your whole team show up, when you're going to have sub-team meetings. So like I have 6 different sub-teams, so my schedule looks something like Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, electronics meets from 2:30 to 4. And then from 4 to 5, fabrication meets. And then Tuesday, Thursdays from 2:30 to 4, drivetrain meets. And then from 4 to 6, programming meets. So that way it divvies up. You don't have all the kids there all the time. You can focus on that sub-team and what their goals are and set deadlines for those sub-teams. If you say, okay, I need my drivetrain done before my programmers can program it, you got to set a deadline for that so you're not at the last week and your drivetrain just got finished and now the programmer kids have to program it in a day. So set deadlines. With any major project, you have subcontractors. One subcontractor's deadlines depends on another subcontractor's deadlines. You got to stick that to the kids, make them commit to it, or else you'll just be down in the last 2 days and you'll be there till midnight trying to finish that robot with them for like 3 days in a row. So decide when you're going to have leadership meetings. So each of my sub-teams has a leader, and then we have leadership meetings where they talk about, okay, this is where electronics is, this is where drivetrain is, this is where mechanisms is, and they can coordinate, okay, we need to make some changes, we need to move these deadlines so things will mesh well together. So set a schedule in the beginning of build season, make the kids aware of it. It also allows mentors and volunteers to come. Because if you just decide, okay, today we're going to do drivetrain on Tuesday, and it's Tuesday morning, your Boeing mentor who works, he has a job, he can't come unless he knows he should get off work early that day. So if you set a schedule and you set sub-team meetings for drivetrain, electronics, programming, your mentors will know what days those are pre-hand, and they can go to their work and say, I need to get off work on Wednesdays at 3 so I can go be involved in this. And they need that time to set their schedules, so they need advance notice. That's really important. I know a lot of times my kids are like, well, we need to do this today, and it's like, okay, so who's now going to come today to help us with that? And so you need to set a schedule and make them stick to it. It's really important. Even if you'll always go off your schedule, but if it's there, you have something to hold the kids accountable and something to work for. Does that make sense? 6 weeks of insanity.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Go back to,
Yeah.
we don't need to hear it now, but do you have a typical schedule, or is there somewhere one could see what a typical schedule looks like? Or does it depend on the project, maybe?
I have one, I just didn't bring it, and I thought about that as soon as I got here today. I mean, I have it, and it's basically kind of how I outlined it, like, every day, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, certain subjects meet.
I mean, I'm too far down the details. Yeah, do this part within 2 weeks, and do that part within 3 weeks, so by the end of the 6 weeks, you're ready to put them together, or whatever.
Exactly, so that's what kind of, like I was saying, set deadlines for them, like your drivetrain most likely needs to get done first. Your chassis and your drivetrain. So that should get done first, because that's what your mechanism is going to bolt onto. But that doesn't mean the kids building the mechanism can't be working on it at the same time. So if those two objects are done at the same time, then you can bolt them together. Same thing with programming. You got to have a drivetrain to program, because they can still be working on stuff, but they need the physical drivetrain to make sure their program is doing what they think it should do. So yeah, definitely like this part, this day, and set the kid deadlines for those kids.
I've got a chart for you in my briefcase.
Okay.
So I'll get you one.
Let's see. This is how I would ideally like my 6 weeks to go.